Hi, I'm Don Goldberg for TechView, and we're back here to talk further about Cisco's Management Agenda Review and Report for the Obama administration. Alan Balutis from Cisco is back here with us. And we also have Fred Thompson joining us, who is an independent consultant and also a consultant and fellow for Cisco on management issues. And he oversaw the HR Human Resources part of this report. So, Fred, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak with you today and be a part of this.
And tell me about sort of how you approach the whole HR issues that you had to deal with.
Well, we looked at the issue from the standpoint of this administration coming in with a blank sheet and trying not to fight the fights of previous administrations, not to take on the challenges, that are facing them, but not to try to take them on with the biases, attitudes, and history of the past. And what could you do, and what could they do that's creative to approach things in a new way? And that's kind of the agenda we laid out for them.
And you looked at recruitment as well as sort of giving them the tools to make them as efficient as possible. What are some of the different issues that you had to face?
Well, recruitment is a big issue. One of the things that's happened is that some of the traditional top-line public administration schools, like the Harvard Kennedy School, in recent years hasn't been bringing graduates to the federal workforce. It's been bringing them to nonprofit organizations, and a lot of it has been the whole process of applying for federal jobs. It hasn't been a lack of a desire to be part of something in the federal government. It's been that sometimes convoluted, frustrating, difficult, multi-step process of applying. And so, that is has been one of our focuses. But we really looked at a broader range of issues. What kinds of pay systems need to be in place, kinds of performance systems, a much more broad approach than that as well.
And Donna, I just want to say this is an important issue, not only because it's one that this administration has to deal with, but it's really a kind of generational opportunity. We have all the baby boomers leaving government. We have an administration that's come in and said they want to reverse the tendency toward contracting out functions to the private sector and bring a number of those in-house. In the next couple of years, the Partnership for Public Service says that we'll need to replace 400,000+ government employees. So this is really a tremendous opportunity to bring a new generation into government and to thereby at the same time change the culture and the look of government.
So, Fred, for example, pay scales are something that have been set in law a long time ago. How do you modernize those to reward efficiencies and the best and the brightest?
Well, one of the things we looked at is what's the current structure and doesn't make any sense. And our general sense is there's 442 occupations in the federal government, 10 to 12 grades in each one of those occupations, 10 performance levels in each of those. The workforce is complex. It does lots of things. But do we really need 40,000 categories in order to be able to pay people the right price for the job well done? Most of industry has moved to an occupation-based pay scale, and government moving to such a scale would be much more rational. We don't have to invent everything. We can use the facts and the data that's available from these other pay studies to make the government pay more rational and fair. It becomes even a bigger issue, the issue that Alan raised about contractors sitting next door. If those people are earning 20% more or 20% less, you've built in a conflict in how work gets done that doesn't need to be there. So coming up with a more rational pay system is a big part of what needs to be done to make this better.
Now, no administration ever makes HR and management its number one agenda when you're facing the economy and foreign issues, et cetera. How is this administration doing?
Well, what part of our pitch was don't put this on the front burner, warm it up and deliver it during the administration. The Carter administration, in my opinion, made an error by making public service reform its number one issue, and it spent a lot of political capital and it lost a lot of momentum on other issues. If you look at what is facing the nation right now in terms of the economic crisis, the health issues, some of the other challenges, terrorism, the other challenges, they're more top of mind for citizens. Address those first, be seen coming out of the box solving those, but keep the work going. I mean, there's a team of people at OPM and at other agencies in the federal government. Keep the work going so that through the course of this administration, you do face the challenges appropriately and that you do deliver results in terms of personnel administration.
But I think that's a key area. This is about delivering results. This is about executing on those promises and on those programs. And to do that, you need a solid workforce. You need enhanced technology. You need to be able to partner with the private sector. Those are really the key aspects that we're focusing on in this assessment, which will be out on January 15th, Don.
Great. And so the challenges that you sort of found, some of them have to be, there has to be legal barriers or legislative barriers, some are just cultural. What are some of those types of challenges?
Well, I think some are legal. I mean, the pay system can't be changed without law changes. On the other hand, that pay system was launched in the 1920s and modernized in the 1940s. So it's probably due for review. The other issues, performance management, a lot more can be done within the current system to really use that as a tool to motivate people and energize them than has been done. So that can start now. It could get better with legislation, but it could start now. A lot of the recruiting activity, we've seen innovations happen. State Department, I was aware of, has done massive job fairs where they've been able to hire people right on the spot. So a lot of work has been done there that could be duplicated by other agencies. So not all of it needs to wait for laws and rule changes. A lot of it can be done now.
And so what are some of the simple, easy things that can change the culture that they need to start assessing?
I think one thing is to write a job that describes what the job is as opposed to what's in the job description. What do you want the person to do when they come on the job? That would be one first start, and that usually takes a couple of paragraphs, not 4 pages, and have that person describe their ability to do that job as opposed to how they fit against an artificial job description which may or may not describe the specific job they're doing. So some of those kind of English language simple processes can really make this thing move quicker.
Well, great. Well, we look forward to reading more in detail when it comes out on the 15th. And Alan, anything else you want to add?
No, as I said, I think this is an opportunity that comes along once in a generation, and I think this president has the opportunity to inspire a whole new generation to come into government service, just as John Kennedy did years ago with his inaugural address, asking people to put aside their personal kind of biases and feelings, come in and serve and improve the government that's so important to us.
Well, great. It's very important. I think we all agree with that. Thank you guys for both being here.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Don Goldberg for TechView.